Hi, everybody. Good evening. Hopefully, you've been having a good week so far. Um, Tonight, we're going to read Luke 8:22 to 25. If you haven't read it already, please hit pause and come back after you have read it. All right, so in this scene, we see Jesus and the disciples crossing the lake. He tells them, "Let us go to the other side," and they launched out across the lake. And as they cross the lake, a storm comes up and the boat is filled with water. Jesus is sleeping. The disciples have at least a small panic attack. Jesus wakes up, rebukes, and causes everything to stop. And then he challenges them on where their faith is. And the disciples are like, "What just happened? What? I don't get it. Whoa, who is this guy?" When I read this, right, like that was a 60-second snapshot of the scenario. But I just think about it like in some of the readings I've done and some of the other sermons I've heard on the storm of the lake, they are in a part of the world where this is probably the Sea of Galilee, which is really just a giant lake. But the way that the geography works is that storms come really fast and they can be quite intense. And if you remember, there's a good portion of the disciples that are fishermen. So, for number one, they know the area, they know that storms happen. And for them to be freaked out about the storm that's coming their way and then comes and hits, that says something because an experienced fisherman knows what to do, how to do it. They're probably not caught off guard very often, but in this instance, this storm is intense. They're scared. They don't know what else to do except to call out to the one man that they know can do something about it. So they wake up Jesus, who I don't know. If this storm is that bad, I'm not sure I could be sleeping. And yet Jesus has peace sleeping with water in the boat, thunder, lightning, however you want to imagine it. He's just out. I don't know. If my boat was rocking and sinking, pretty sure I'd be up freaking out like the disciples. But he wakes up, he stands up, and he rebukes the wind and the raging water. When I read this, I've always had the picture of Jesus standing up and saying, "Peace, be still." Right? Really calm, serene. But I've had a friend challenge me, and they'd shared some videos where in reality Jesus stood up and he was quite vocal, like scorning a child vocal. "Hey, peace, stop, enough. You don't need to be doing this." Whichever version speaks to you, or somewhere in the middle of those, I think there is something to be said about how Jesus speaks. He's very precise, he's very determined, and he lays it out. And when he does, everything stops. Just boom, done. End of story. There was calm. I don't know about you, but that is wow, amazing. Everything stopped. I mean, it's just done, it's gone. My imagination takes me to the place where it's blue skies, birds singing, and maybe just the softest ripple from the fish swimming. And in that moment, he takes a point to call out the disciples. Like they know who they're with. And Jesus says, "Where's your faith?" What? What do you mean, where's my faith? I have never seen a storm like this just ended, right? Just stand up and please stop. Boom, done. Ah. But at the same time, they should know who they're with and know what to expect. But in the same time, them seeing what has just happened, there's just no way. Total, unabashed amazement, awe, and wonder. The storms of life happen. Some happen frequently, like daily, hourly. Other times you might go who knows how long before a real storm comes and hits. But in those moments, who do you call out to? Or what do you call out to? Right? Do you look to a substance for your salvation? Do you turn to another person? Now, not to say that you shouldn't talk to a friend about something going on in your life, but at the same time, if you're not turning to God and Jesus, I've experienced that the storm doesn't really go away until I hand it off to Jesus. How do I surrender that storm, as big and scary as it is, to Jesus? Because I think about that ending where the winds and water obey him. Talks about creation. Of course they obey and listen to him. He made them. I think during these times, these past few weeks, we've all had a storm of some kind. And we've all experienced some grief and struggles. And I want to challenge you, like I'm challenging myself, to give those struggles to Jesus. I mean, really surrender them and say, Jesus, here they are. Help me. And so with that, have a great day, and I will see you next time.